Oh,
Oh, snap!
He's snapping at every topic that makes your fingers.
Snap, we're back again.
Actually, he's
Oh,
back
I'm
again.
back again. Yeah, I'm the one who's been away.
And she's back again.
Oh! Oh, sorry.
Sorry, don't look
Sorry.
at
You shocked us.
Sorry, don't look at them.
Guys, what happened with you,
Otherwise-
Ezri?
Oh, guys, what did you do to my daughter? What do you do? Otherwise, you're speaking to Dombi, Mrs. T, Zuko, whatever you like, Mrs. Broken Crayons, and this is...
Sipo, the wonderful husband of Tombi, and the fatty of you.
Yeah. I don't know why she's in that mood. But guys, thank you so much for all of the amazing comments and the views.
The subscribing.
Guys, the subscribing. Let's get to 2K. Let's do this, bam bam. And last time I spoke about how unemployment almost killed me and my journey. So today we're just continuing from that. And I thought maybe I should just bring my husband from his perspective, like living with someone who he knows that they are good at wherever they put her, but they're just not getting the opportunities and stuff. So we're going to speak around those lines and everything and stuff. So I don't want to even pose a question. So like what comes into, like, I don't want to say what comes into mind, but how was it for you, like living with someone, or maybe they'll get an opportunity but it doesn't pay much, or they'll get an opportunity and then they're not paying me at all, and you see the hard work that I put in, and like, how was it for you?
I think firstly, it's the part of the great news of saying you actually now,
Yes,
you are working, you are employed, you've got a job that you're happy. So congrats on you on that. I think it's been about 3 weeks now.
Oh, I am almost 2 months.
So at least now, but those are the good news, just in context to say, here we're speaking about something that did happen in the past. But for you, you are employed, you got a job, you're happy to be back at work, although it's in a corporate setting, but I'm sure you are happy at work.
Yes, I am happy.
I think also for me, the part that you're asking, I think it's the issue of how sensitive is it to stay with someone who is unemployed, especially if that person had worked before, especially if that person was financially contributing at home. It does have it's a lot of challenges, because listen, man, if you are two people or you're staying with someone who's employed, both of your salaries, everything is planned around those salaries. You can afford those, let's say that apartment there, you can afford those 2 cars there, you can afford to go out there, you can afford to whatever lifestyle you are living because of those 2 salaries. But if then you take 1 salary away, that means there must be a lot of changes that's going to happen. You are going to lose some of the assets, or you are going to have to change your lifestyle and somehow.
Downgrade.
Yeah, you have to downgrade, because now that 1 salary, all these things were done by 2 salaries or 3 salaries. But suddenly now it's being done only by 1 salary.
Or 2.
Or 2 salaries. So things you must sacrifice there and there and there. Now, the thing with that, every time you downgrade something, whether it's like, okay, we can't afford this apartment, let us move to that place now. You do not want to seem as if you are blaming the other person, and the other person can feel like it's my fault now that we're no longer staying in this area that we loved. It's my fault that now we have to let go of this car and have this car. It's my fault now that we can't go out every weekend or every 2 weekends. It's my fault that now we have to take the child out of crèche, so that we can save that money. So, and you are the person who's trying your best to make sure that the person doesn't seem as if it's their fault, or whenever something financially comes through, when you guys can't afford it, it's like it called another time in the back of that person that says, "Ish, this is my fault. If this then Sapangela, we were gonna be able to do that, So as your life is changing, it becomes sensitive to the other, both of you, and it can make things pretty much awkward. You get my point. When people are, one thing I've learned about this experience, and having spoken to other people as well, it's easy to speak about money when you have it.
Yes.
It's easy to speak about savings. It's easy to speak about it's easy to speak about savings, investment. It's easy to speak about let's start a new business. It's easy because it's there.
Yes.
You know, it's easy to say, but hey, man, we need to cut out on this thing based on we are busy, not because we don't have money. But even when you come to budget, month end,
it's
easy to do it when there is money.
Yes, it's easy.
But when there is no money, or there's low money, you sort of avoid such conversation. Like, I don't know how you guys feel, but I kind of felt for us, it was chafisa, like it was just dismotivating.
So budget and
and automatically you already could see that you will need to borrow money 5 days from now, or even 3 days from now. Now, guess what? If then you are saying let's borrow money from a friend or from there, it's like the other person is also again feeling guilty. But it's because it's my fault. You know, it's because it's my fault. So you end up having to spend a lot of time having to nurse the feelings of that person. But at the same time, you don't want to over nurse them as if, like, you're not blaming them, but you cannot just create equal awareness that this whole situation is changing because, you know, and then it's the heartbreak of every time there's an interview, they go for that interview. That prays that they must get that job. So it doesn't change. But then when they don't get that job, it even kills them even more. And now you also have to play that motivating role. You continuously, as a person who's living with someone who's unemployed, you are continuously motivating and picking up that person. You know?
Especially if you see them applying every single day, like 25 applications or 50 applications a day, and then when they go for the interview and they still get a decline, it's like
nothing happens.
Or you don't even get any response.
You see? So you continuously motivating the other person, you know, but at the same time, it also you end up trying to motivate yourself because you know, I think, guys, I think unemployment or just poverty, it's one of the most humiliating things.
Yes.
I'm not saying it's the only one, but I'm saying it's one of the most humiliating things. You know, it can take away your confidence.
Yes.
That situation.
It does.
It can take away your creativity. You know, and I think when we're going through that period, it's social media.
Yes.
Even for our own channel. You know, although we had committed that every week.
And we had topics, right?
Yeah, you know, it becomes dismotivating. You know, you can even, at least for me, I would go to work and be distracted by work for 9 hours a day. But she has to sit in that reality every day.
Every day.
I'm waking up, at least at work, it's a lot of that's happening at work, distracted. Then only when you come back, you are reminded of your situation. But she has to stay in that situation from the time she wakes up until the time she sleeps.
Yes.
And you can't say, I'm going to go for coffee date, I'm going to go for... Like, even not just to go to the gym, it's dismotivating.
It was dismotivating and like, you are guys. And I think also another thing, like when our baby that killed me was like, ever since we started dating, like if you could count how many jobs like I've been having and trying to get, and you're in still the same job, the first job that you ever got, and I'm like, am I doing something wrong? Am I not praying enough? Am I not? And Kubana, I would beat myself about that, like, what's wrong? But I understand at the same time, it's the like my field, the economy is not allowing, or they're underpaying us. But at the same time, I feel so bad. But
it's your fault.
It's my fault. It's like, this is the 6th company, you know? Like, why can't I get a job? And I'm like, I'm going to retire here. Okay, if I leave, I know that I left because I wanted to.
I'm going to go and start my own thing.
I'm going to start my own thing. That just used to kill me. And sometimes when you leave, I would be like, Tiko, can I just get a job because of my husband? And when are you not saying it? Okay, now I'm getting emotional. Now, it's like, when are you not saying it? But no, don't be, it's because of you. But for me, I felt so bad, like, to be dependent on you, because before I was with you, or when we started dating, I was independent by myself. I managed to do everything. So now it was like getting out of my comfort zone to be able to depend to another person, and it was so uncomfortable. Even though you didn't mind, but it was so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
you know.
And also, it's that part of when I think that amongst the many challenges that we have faced, you know, starting out, moving in together, getting married, all of those things, you know, that was the first challenge or financial challenge that we've ever been through. You know, when we met, you were fine, you were okay financially, I was okay financially. Who are just functioning, you know, financially. That was the first stumbling block of finances that we're like, whoa, what is this?
What's
but
going
no
on?
one prepared for us with this thing.
How
you
are we
know?
gonna maneuver
How are we gonna
around
maneuver this thing? You know, but at the same time, we are old enough to understand that, oh man, we live in South Africa. You know, we get underpaid. There are less and less opportunities in South Africa, whether ufundile, whether ufundanga, you know. There are some industries that it's just closed, you know. And if our now is a connections, you know, we understood that, you know, we knew that that is the reality, not just of our reality, but also for other people. But you still feel that pain. You still feel, and now
your feelings are valid.
Yeah, your feelings are valid, and now I'm doing my best not doing it. I'm blame to say, you know, because I still remember even like, you know, this thing of doing I got to a point like, you handle the finances because you are at home, you know, so all the bank cards will be with you, you know, just to give someone the a part of decision making zemali, although at that time ingataka contributing but to make them feel part of those things, you know. And also, man, just to like from weekend to weekend, you know, just we try to do. I tried to come up with events that didn't cost money. Like that's why I'm social as one. You know, just cook something here at home, go and stay in.
You're so intentional.
Yeah, because you know you're trying to motivate the person. Because you know, motivating in words. Sometimes so let's go and stay at the beach, you know, just the sea breeze, you know, cook something, you're motivating the person, or let's go for a walk, you know, or let's download a movie, watch a movie together, you know, just to try to move away from that, you know.
And I think the frustrating thing, I was always at home, so like when you like I had a long week at work and you just want to be at home, and for me I'm like, oh gosh, like, so what you did, like leaving the house actually did me so good, and I really enjoyed that. And also the thing is, at times you like, because of like you can't afford certain things, even with church for me became draining, because I'm like, I have to wear the same things, I can't buy the things. If I buy the things I want, I'll short that somewhere, and even going to church, like you don't even hear the word because you're like, but God, I have this prayer.
And not everyone else is winning.
And they're not winning, you're not winning. And I think what frustrated me more, I had so many speaking engagements, like the same God who's not opening doors, but I'm just standing in front of people and just healing with the word of God. And I was like, life is just unfair.
And also I think it was also the part of one of the things I noted was that during that season, you know, you end up in a way losing a lot of friends. You know, you end up because you can't do the things that friends can do anymore. You know, you can't go out.
You can't get them gifts.
You can't get them gifts. You know, you
and
can't
I'm
invite
such a
them.
giver.
Whenever you are feeling invited, you always came with You always came with gifts. Now you feel like empty-handed. Like, you know, I kind of felt like for you, it's like you wanted to hide. When you were going through that season.
I want to hide. And the thing is, sometimes when you open up to certain people, they ended up always feeling sorry for you. And I hated that. Like, if like there's an event, like a brunch, it's like, we've got you. And you're like
intentionally that was right. But when you feel like you have to be responsibility, so rather you just not go.
Like I always say, I'm busy, I don't have time and stuff, you know. And like, oh yeah, man, it's like people have the right intentions, they'll buy you things, and you're like, but when a mindset was still there, but are you buying me because really, or are you buying me because you know that I don't have?
And also I think it's also the part of like if you ever encounter a friend who's going through that process, you know, or your family member is going through that process, you know, it's to speak about it with that person, it can be a lot for that person.
It's a lot.
So whatever you can give, just give. But it's like you know, it's when you're going through a process of mourning, let's say you lost a friend or any, a parent, or a family member, so one of the best way to comfort someone is the presence of ministry. Just be there for the person. You don't have to talk, you don't have to sing, you don't have to preach, just be there. If you find them cleaning, like, oh, can I just clean with you? You clean with them. You find them watching a movie, just be, because sometimes when the person is going through that, they can't speak.
Yes.
Yeah, but it gets them all emotional. Yes. But you can just be there for the person,
It messes them up.
Even if someone is going through a tough time financially, they're not working. If you can spend 500 rand, you can send it without justification. Just say, no, I'm gonna keep it. Spend our cash send, show sharp. Yeah, but if you can, it's. I'm not saying, but if you can't give it financially, if I was to support the financial because you are also having level, then understand them when they are pulling back.
Yes.
To other things, understand them because
and also don't have high expectations.
Yeah,
from
don't have
them.
high expectations.
Because most of the time we just want to stay at home and mind our own business and not be around others.
And you are saving the little that you're having, because when we're going through that process, we'll always be worried about next week what we'll do. Will have enough petrol for work? That other week, do you think they're gonna have enough? It traumatizes you how to spend the money.
Yes, and you're in a sense of I remember you used to feel bad. I was like, hey, now I think we should just pause for 1 month for the child going to crèche, and stuff, everything. But I think one thing I'm so happy about is that whatever season we were at, where we're at, it was still peaceful.
Yeah.
In this home. Yeah. And I'm so thankful for that. And I'm actually thinking about people who are in the same situation. Some homes are not as peaceful and you don't get understanding people like that, and stuff. But yeah.
And for me, also another advice I would give is that when someone is going through that process, I think sometimes we take it for granted that people do apply.
Yes.
And people do go for interviews.
We do.
So that thing of when someone, that thing, sometimes, I think I learned that through you when you're going through that you can't be asking someone, did you apply? Did you? They do apply. They know their situation, but they're not gonna they don't speak about each other because I don't want to jinx it.
Yes.
I don't want to be like, did you get the job? But they do apply. So sometimes when we see people are unemployed, ingathi siye sibawe abawufuni mos umsebenzi. Guys, and at times even as interview, you could see sometimes going to a procedure. They know exactly who they're going to hire. They know exactly who they're going to hire. So it's hard, it's not easy to
And there was a time I would apply. I had a time from 12 a.m. to 3 p.m. applying, and I ended up suffering from insomnia because you're thinking, I always had the thing, always opening my emails, I'm just hoping and hoping and hoping. So I think also people should just be mindful and cautious when it has to come to a job thing. And sometimes the same people who say that they have opportunities which they can open for you in their workplaces, but they will never do that.
And also it's the part of you pull back during that season from people because you don't want to always explain yourself. And at the same time, one of the things that is deadly about that situation, that season, is that you can start being jealous of other people.
Yes.
That's another awkward truth. You can start being jealous of other people. You can start seeing people who you don't appreciate things. You can start being jealous of other people. It happens. Nature can take over naturally. So that you must also guard yourself. And at times, not to be jealous of others, I'd rather just pull back. It's with social media, if you're really going through a lot, you don't want to be on Instagram.
Yes.
Because everyone is successful on Instagram. Everyone is successful on Instagram. Yes,
everyone is
everyone is it's Christmas on Instagram. And so sometimes you okay, you can go through that, so it's something that you also need to be mindful of. But and at the same time, I still remember having two friends of mine who were not working previously, and I decided that I was gonna mute them from my statuses.
Yeah, I remember.
Because when things were going good for us, because I didn't want to see me at so I just thought for them, so that they don't let me just mute. It's like trying to eat in front of someone who's not eating, and the person is hungry, and then you just hear eating as I was saying, you can't do that. Listen. So at times, it's also the part of, I don't know whether it's the right way to say it, as we are flossing in front of our family members.
Let's be mindful.
Or friends, let's be sensitive and mindful.
Yes, and mindful.
Let's yeah, I think that's and I think social media in a way it has a way of not taking that for.
They don't care. They don't become mindful or anything.
I know it sounds bad, but it does make the.
I don't save people's numbers. I don't know if it's wrong, because sometimes you mute people, but no GP WhatsApp and stuff, and they can still see. But sometimes I ended up, like just muting just not saving people, because I'm also thinking for them and stuff.
Yeah.
And one thing about me, when I was like unemployed, I like that. When I was in the past.
Guys, if you are unemployed now, don't be your testimony.
I am your testimony.
Things will happen for you.
Things do happen.
Give it a week. Give it a week.
In your waiting
Our God can hear our prayers.
Dude.
Trust me. Give it a week. I'm with you on that one. I know how hard is it. I was not unemployed. I've always been employed. But I went through that financial struggle because my partner was going through that. So we lost almost a lot of our stuff, because this was just because even our business collapsed. So it was just me, it was just one salary. Because we had 3 salaries.
Yes.
You're not working, the business collapsed. We had 1 salary,
Actually, it's even 4.
Oh, 4. We sold 4. The other.
I ended up having selling so that
because we wanted the money.
Yes.
Then you saw the business idea. 4. Yes. Yeah, but so as much as I've never been there, I lived with someone who was there. I know how it's like to lose things, and I can say for you, things to change.
Change.
I don't want to preach, because sometimes preaching just turns you off when you're going through that process.
Don't tell me about God.
But trust me, things will change. Oh, you give it a week, trust me.
Yeah, it will change. And I must say, guys, now living in my answered prayer, it does still feel unreal, as much as it's 2 weeks, 2 months. In the job. I still can't believe it, but I'm so super grateful. And like settling in, it's a lot. I don't wanna like, because now everything changes, trying to new sleeping patterns, like trying and stuff. And now like you can afford the things that you wanted. It feels good. You feel good, you look good, and kumnandi, man, guys, kumnandi.
But also, I think we're also going through the trauma of always being scared to spend.
Yes,
that's
what the previous season
was.
And that's
what, when you're going through, you will see, like when you go through that process, it's traumatizing to spend money. You're always in doubt. Can I buy a T-shirt? Like, what if? Although you have budgeted,
although you have budgeted,
savings, but
and it
does trauma. When you've gone through that process, it's not a nice place to be.
And that time it needs to conda, dude. It's just a like 100 rand T-shirt. Just buy it. It won't we won't break our budget. It's like on your savings and stuff. But I think we're also now trying to unlearn that, unlearn that. But I must say we're better than before. And it's just a learning season. And now you know about...
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Things are, it's like now when you're watching this, you're like, hey, we're supposed to be happy. I think we are. We definitely are happy.
We are happy.
But it's now we're just speaking about that, So that reflection is like, sometimes you just were too excited, you're like, hey, things have changed. Hey,
bruh, and it's like pinch me and stuff. And it's man. I'm happy. We happy.
That's the update.
We're happy.
But we are hoping this video can be a motivation to someone else
who's in the waiting, who's going through the waiting. Because my wait was like 8 years. Your wait might be less than that.
It will be less than that. There's no need for your waiting to be that long. It's not going to be that long.
There's no need.
And at the same time, to someone who's going through things that are going well for you, it's good to also continue being hungry, metaphorically speaking. Look for other opportunities.
Yes.
Look for other. Nothing is guaranteed. Look for other opportunities. Like we know, as much as now we are going through this, but we need to revive our businesses.
Yes.
We need to go back. We need to revive. So as much as things are going well, there's still more for you. If you have the time, you have the idea, research it, start something new, You know, continue staying hungry. You can go back to school whilst working. Do it, you know.
Yes.
Continue improving yourself. Now we are in that process of improving ourselves.
Yes. But I also want to say thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being there emotionally. I don't want to say physically, emotionally, physically, but for just supporting Ongadina, because now let's just end this marriage and you can go home, or let's go back home and then come back when things are okay and stuff. But you were there through thick and thin, and I will forever appreciate that, and thank you for that.
And also for me, I also like to thank you that, you know, like when we when we were downgrading our stuff, changing our places of staying, change your car, change our lifestyle, you know. You were not like that type of a person who did not want to allow that thing to happen. Like, you know, there are people when things are not going right, but like, you know, you're holding, you know, now you are open-minded. You know, you're open-minded, say, no, let's, you know, the situation is saying we must change, you know, let's downgrade, we downgrade. When the situation says we must upgrade, we'll upgrade, you know. And so now you were not a difficult customer.
Thank you so much, babe. Yeah, thank you so much. Otherwise, guys.
But also this thing, because you are a speaker and also a preacher, you know, this experience that you went through will not just go down to waste. You know, our scars should be a motivation to other people.
And I'm so thankful that my wound has healed. And it's no longer a wound anymore, but it's a scar. And I can preach about that scar.
You can motivate people from the point of scar. Because a wound is very nasty.
Yes, and a wound definitely got also, man. Clean, but a scar, it has healed, and now I can have a story to tell and motivate to others. But guys, please do like, share, and subscribe.
Thank you, man. Do comment.
Please do comment.
Do comment.
Down there, guys. Let's get monetized this year. We can do it together. Thank you to everyone who has followed us since day one. We're here. We are going to post every Sunday. Every Sunday. Otherwise,
whatever you're going through, it's not permanent. No. It's temporary. If there was an entrance door, guaranteed there is an exit door.
Bye. Say bye, Zuri.
Say bye. Bye, Zuri. Oh, Zuri said bye.